Hey guys, this is John Barton from JB Cases. Um, so today's episode of today's episode of the Barton Rants is Barton's Daily Rants is it never ends. It just never ends. Um, this is competition, people. That's why they call it the competition, right? It's not kumbaya. Me and my colleagues, other people in this business who make cases, we're not all sitting around trying to figure out how to divide up your money. um, we are competing with each other for your business, so it's competition, not kumbaya. So when I say that, right, there seems to be this idea that if I say something about the competition that's not positive, then then I'm somehow not being proper or professional or nice. Um, but the thing to remember is that that guy over there that's got a case and me, when we're both trying to sell a case and you're only going to buy one case, then it's very important that I get a chance, for me, that I get a chance to make my appeal to you clear as to why I think you should buy our case. I know that not everybody's going to buy our case, but here's the point about when I say it never ends. Somehow people have this expectation that they can copy our case. Um, they feel like they can copy our case, and then not only do they copy it, but then they use text, they use marketing, slogans and captions and content to claim that they are as good as our case, that they work like our case, that they do what our case does. And that way it makes the consumer think, just by reading that material, that that case is as good as our case. And in most cases, these knockoffs are cheaper. So of course, any discerning consumer is going to look hard at that case. Why wouldn't they? I would. And if the consumer believes them, they're going to buy that case. The only problem is they're not going to get what was promised. So any savings that they have there is washed away by the fact that they got a much inferior product, not what was promised at all. And in some cases, actually dangerous to the queue. Because the fact of it is there's no shortcuts in this world. There really isn't. I've been making cases since 1991, and every time I've ever thought, you know what, this is going to make life easier. It's going to make it so much faster. We're going to be, every time I've tried some sort of a shortcut, it comes back to bite me every single time. So there's a lot of, ways that you can put together stuff and put together a pool cue case. But the fact of it is that pretty much the only two ways that they can be cheaper than us and have the same exact quality is they have to somehow be paying a lot less than we are for the build of the case. So the construction, the materials, everything, which is going to be difficult to do. Or they have to be cutting a lot of corners to get the price down, their price. That's the only two real ways that price is going to be lower than ours as far as what it costs to build the case. So with that in mind, the only other way then is let's say for example that somehow they came up with a knockoff that was as good as our case. So 1-to-1, and they're selling it for half the price. So barring lower costs, which we know they don't have, they have to be like just taking a loss on the case, if that's the situation. And if in that situation, that would be great for you, the consumer. That would be great. You're getting a case exactly like ours, wonderful, works perfect, and is half the price. That would be awesome. Even if you didn't get the lifetime warranty that we give on it, that would still be a great deal, because to be honest, I give you a lifetime warranty because I don't expect that you'll need it. The reason I don't expect that you'll need it is because we continually improve these cases. We're pulling on them. We're trying to destroy them. We're being rough, being rugged. Anytime something comes back, we look at it and we think, is this the best way that we could have done this? Can we do better? Can we make it stronger? And the end result of that is that every year we get less and less cases back for problems that we saw before, because we've went in and we said, how can we make it tougher? How can we make it more durable? And we do that. So that's another thing that you get with somebody like us, where you're probably not going to get that from a knockoff guy that's out there losing money. If he did manage at one snapshot in time to build a case that was exactly like our cases at that point in time, but he's losing money because he's selling them cheaper just as a loss leader to compete with us. If that actually happened, then it's a pretty good surety that person or those people are not staying on top of case building, and they're not innovating along with us. So every time we make an innovation, they don't make one along with us. So imagine like 2 years ago, they copied us, and whatever problems we had on our cases 2 years ago, whatever ones we identified, they've got those, and those are going to continue on into the future because, they're not case makers. So that's the situation if someone was actually to build a case and make it exactly like ours and sell it for less, they'd be taking a loss. Now, when I say less, I don't mean like $5 or $10 less. I mean like if they're like what one of these companies does, they're out there selling their case. They got it online for $170, $220, and then they slash through that and discount it to like 180 or 160 or whatever, and then they go to a show and they'll sell that same case for $99 or $97, I guess. So you have to ask yourself, and it's only at shows where we are not there. So if you're a consumer who might be interested in this knockoff case, well, at a show where we're not there, they're going to charge you 60, 70, whatever dollars more for the case. And if we happen to be there, then they're going to charge you $97 or whatever for the case. But either way, you're getting a piece of crap. So, it just depends on how much more you pay for the piece of crap. And that's the reality of what's going on, is that they aren't able to make a case that is as good as our case, and they're not willing to make a case that's as good as our case because they're not willing to pay the money that it takes to buy those cases, to actually, the factories that they deal with don't know how to make a case as good as our case. And those factories are unwilling to do that type of work. The factories themselves want to take shortcuts because most of the time when these guys make knockoffs, they are not looking to pay the highest prices for the case to the factory. They're not willing to tell the factory, hey, do what you got to do and knock this off exactly the same quality, everything, and I'll pay what you tell me to pay, right? No, they're not willing to say something like that. What they're willing to do is give, they want the lowest possible price, and then when they get a price, they want to push it down even further. So the factory's like, well, okay, but they're going to take shortcuts that they're not even going to tell the customer because they're trying to increase their profit margin. And that's exactly what happens. So now today in the it never ends category, right, where I'm apparently not allowed to say anything when claims are made about a competing product, especially when it's a knockoff, and those claims are not true. Apparently, I'm not allowed to dispute those claims. I guess there's some unwritten rule because I'm a case maker and I'm a seller and we have a brand and we have our own model, that I have to be silent on these issues. Well, I'm not going to be silent, and here's why. Consumers deserve the truth. I'm a consumer. You're a consumer. When I go out and buy something, I want the truth about it. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be told that it is something that it is not. I don't want to have to waste my time dealing with it when it breaks because it's not supposed to break. Just today, I got a computer yesterday. Yeah, just yesterday I got a computer and it was dead on arrival. Brand new computer out of the box. Lots of joy. Open it up, won't start. What do I got to do? Immediately, I go on the internet and I start looking. Anybody got any solutions? What? Some people say, oh, just hold the button for 30 seconds. And one guy said 2 minutes. Plug it, unplug it, hit this button and hold that button down and raise your right leg, and stand there and cock your ear for 4 minutes, and then it should cycle through and come back on. Are you kidding me? Really? That's the hassle I got to go through to try to get this machine to work that I just bought that is touted so wonderfully and highly. So yeah, I got unlucky, to get a dead on arrival computer. But the fact of it is that I then had to go and spend a lot more time and frustration dealing with it to get the product that I should have had in the first place, to get the product that was promised to me. And that is exactly the situation that I don't want you to be in when it comes to our cases. I don't want you to I have something I call the 3 a.m. test. And the 3 a.m. test is when you get your case from us and you're sitting on your couch at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're looking at it and you're going over it and there's nobody there but you, there's not me, there's not friends, there's not anybody but you. And you're looking at it. And you're just really kind of looking every part of it over, right? I don't want for you to have even the tiniest of regret over buying that case based on that close, quiet, deep inspection of the product. Not one bit. I don't want you to ever have any misgivings about buying it. So I apply the same standard to our cases in that regard that I apply to other things that I buy that I really want to enjoy. In the quiet moments when I'm sitting down to really get into it and really inspect it and understand what it is that I have in my hands, I don't want to having paid whatever I paid for that. And it doesn't matter to me if it's a $10 thing that I bought at the flea market, or if it's a $1,000 computer. I want that quality. I want it and appreciate it and understand it and feel good about having it and feel good about owning it. So that's why we do what we do. That's why we're so strict about our quality, and that's why we're so strict about our continuous improvement, and that's why that I can't let false and fake and misleading claims go by without comment on the internet. I can't. It's competition, guys, not kumbaya. There's no other case maker has a right. Brand guys aren't even case makers. No other case brand has a right to be without criticism. And they especially don't have a right to be without criticism from me because I'm their competition. Right? If I walk into the pool room, any random pool room, right? I walk into the pool room and I'm like, I'm better than everybody in here. Nobody in here can beat me. Nobody can run more balls than me. Nobody can run more racks than me. I just all these things, right? There's probably, and if they know me, there's probably going to be like 10 people jumping off their stools going, prove it. Prove it. Because that's an obvious thing, right? If I say I can run 5 racks and people know better, they know me, they're going to be like, bet, son. How much do you want to bet? We'll bet houses, we'll bet cars, we'll bet kids, we'll bet money, whatever you want to bet, we'll bet. And what's going to happen right there when they say that? my cars, my kids, whatever it is that I've got to lose, then I'm going to go broke. But people don't do that, right? Very rare that happen because people understand. They understand their limitations, so they're not going to market themselves to a whole group of people who are waiting and willing to say, prove it. That's a problem. But when it comes to selling, pool cue cases or pool cues, some people feel like that the seller is allowed to make whatever claims they want and never have to prove it. Have to stand up and prove what it is they said. So they can make any claim they want, For example, guy says, here, double heavy duty zippers for easy fast access, double heavy duty zippers. So on this case, which is, if I hold it up like that, this case doesn't look like these cases back here. No similarity at all, right? So that's one claim that they made on here, but these are not double heavy duty zippers. Well, it means double as in 2 zipper pulls is what he means, right? So what they actually mean is they actually mean 2 zipper pulls on there. So it says heavy duty zippers for easy fast access. Okay, well, you know what? Let's dissect that first of all. These are not heavy-duty zippers or zipper pulls or any zipper part. These are cheap-ass zippers. They're cheap-ass parts, and they fall apart easily. It doesn't take. You can twist on it all you want. You can do whatever you want to it, and you're going to have an extremely hard time breaking that zipper. Why? Because I searched and searched until I found those parts that were strong enough to hold up to that type of use and abuse, because it's not easy to fix a zipper on a case, not this way. And it's annoying to have to figure out how to put the zipper pull back on and everything, even though that's fairly easy. But the fact of it is that the zipper sliders, this part right here, on knockoffs, they're crap. So easy to bend metal, and these guys, this particular guy, I think that they give like a 90-day warranty on that. So after 90 days, what is it? Hey, your shit breaks. So sorry, your SOL on that. Hey, buy another $97 one. Do that. So now that's one claim, right? And then they say reinforced construction with studs and double sewn stitches. Nonsense. I tore this case apart with bare hands, easily. We let you guys come to our booth. Consumers, players, you come to our booth and I hand you a case and I say, tear this apart. I've got videos online where you see guys struggling to pull the case apart at my booth in front of everybody. Do you